I was woken up at 8 a.m., knocked in the head with an angel statue that weighed over 10 pounds, and at that point, I began to fight. He then took several knives and ripped me wide open and stabbed me repeatedly. I bit him. I fought hard. He came back in the house 3 times, checking to see if I was dead. I had to pretend that I was dead. They called me the miracle lady. They couldn't believe I had survived it. I had no idea what I was going to do. As I'm about to leave the hospital in Florida, they referred me to the refuge center. It was my one place that I had refuge, that I could communicate about all my issues and all my problems, and to know I felt safe.
My son went to college, and I suffered, from emptiness syndrome on top of a lot of different other struggles that I didn't even know that I had. I had lost my momentum to do things that I used to enjoy doing. I had lost my desire to love myself. I had lost my desire to work. I didn't feel like I had anything to contribute to the world anymore. I headed back to Nashville, and I said, Lord, take the wheel. I'm done. And I said my prayers with hopes that I would go over the cliff. When Jesus took the wheel, he actually parked my car. And I sobbed on 24 crying, why, Lord, did you keep me alive? I knew that at that point that something's wrong with me. I just wanted to kill myself, and I was okay with that. Counseling has helped me be a better Tunji. Counseling just simply means that you're smart enough to know that I love me and I need an outlet, someone to talk to.
I was having trouble with OCD and anxiety, and I didn't even know it. And then one day my parents thought that a counselor might be good, and it brought me here. Her name is Miss Elizabeth. She helped me try and suggest ways to calm me down when I'm really mad. Instead of calling it OCD, me and her usually called it Mr. Worry. She would help me fight him and try and make him smaller. There are so many nice people, and I love coming here. This place has really helped me improve and make me not worry as much as I used to. If you don't even know what you're struggling with, or if you're just not in control of yourself, they can really help you just control yourself. If they can help me, I'm sure they can help you too.
I heard a knock at the front door, and I went to the front door and I looked out, and it was the man that I was gonna divorce. And against all judgment, I undid the lock. I remember a pain so intense that it brought me to consciousness, and I saw his face on top of me, and I remember thinking, if I live through this, you're in trouble. I had 4 fractures in my face and strangulation marks. After I was released from the hospital, he was apprehended and put in jail. The divorce became final. He was charged with attempted murder and rape. So I felt desperate to try to make sense of what had happened to me. I had 3 notes from just random realtor friends saying, you should contact the Refuge Center. It just is so important for people to be able to come to a place where there's no judgment, and there's acceptance, and there's help and answers and support. It doesn't matter what your emotional or your physical or your financial situation is at the time, because if you knock on the door of the Refuge Center, you will be welcomed with open ears and open arms.
So I'd gone through 5 deaths in 11 months, and one of them was my dad. And I just felt like I was a ship at sea, like nowhere to anchor. And I knew that I had to start doing some sort of healing, because you just can't live like that. For the first time since I was 5, I think I can feel a lightness in my chest, and I think that's the freedom. I don't have to carry it all anymore. Carry what I know that I can carry, and I can be done with the rest.
I was raised by my grandparents, so it was just my grandparents and my older brother. So it was just us 4. Growing up, I stuttered very bad. So I was in therapy. As a kid, I was made fun of a lot. I was bullied a lot. because, I couldn't talk. I couldn't even say my name. Because of the bullying and everything, you become really insecure of yourself because you're always second guessing. On August 26th of 2021, I attempted suicide. That day changed my life forever. I think that was my calling, crying for help. And I'm thankful that my family and my friends were there to, pick me up. After I got out the hospital from suicide attempt, I was talking to my family and they said that your happiness can be inside of you. Life may get difficult, life is going to be difficult, but there's no reason to want to end your life because life gets tough. I found hope through counseling because there are people out there who want to help.
My 15-year-old son went out to mow the lawn for the first time here, and he went outside and he sat on a zero-turn mower, and it hit just the perfect angle and it tipped over and it crushed him immediately. And I found him immediately and tried to save him but was unable to. I would say that the Refuge Center is a place definitely where hope grows. It's a beautiful place for healing, a beautiful place for those that have lost loved ones, whether it be through death or whether it be through divorce. I can definitely say divorce was a death of a marriage, of hopes and dreams, and it's a place of healing. Hope grows at the Refuge Center. It's a safe place to heal, process, just to be.
I look at counseling now as something as a great tool to have in your toolbox that you can go to time and time and time again for any situation. There's no shame in asking for help and guidance and having you see your problem or your challenge in a completely different way. So I think having a place like the Refuge Center is huge in terms of saving lives, really allowing someone to reset, readjust, and refocus their lives and really feel empowered to move forward in a positive way. Having a place like this is a huge asset for the community.
So my husband got diagnosed with colon cancer in 2015, and I started coming pretty soon after that, just myself individually. And over the period of 4 years, he had chemo off and on, and we saw some great results, and then we saw some not so great results. And he passed away from colon cancer in 2019. We started coming with all three of my girls, and they each had their own individual therapist, and it was just a really good time for them to express their feelings and what they were going through. The sliding scale just really helped, especially with me being in, all three girls being in. It made it affordable.
The first time I came to the Refuge Center, I was kind of nervous because it was a bunch of new people and I didn't know anybody. When I came here, I had trouble controlling my anger and everything. And so I would just lash out at myself, but I don't do that anymore. If I had a friend who was scared to go to counseling, I would tell them that it's okay to be scared at first because you'll meet a lot of new people, but they can actually help you.
A huge part of our story was that in December of 2019, my wife of 15 years was unexpectedly diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. Obviously, when you lose a spouse, you lose the person that you've done the deepest life with. And then I think adding to that, the reality of being a single parent. In all honesty, when my wife was alive, she was the primary caretaker of the kids. And it was like, oh my word, when she passed, I remember thinking, how the heck am I gonna possibly raise these two boys well? This grief journey has really led me into a place of learning it's about vulnerability and honesty. It's about not running from the wounds, not hiding from the wounds, but staring them down in safe communities that are going to move you towards that place of healing and restoration.